matter what it is in life that you want, you gotta go out there and get it. Just don't let it come to a sleeper but a dream. Never give up on your goals, stay focused on you. Focus your view, succeed, cause I'm hoping you do. Keep climbing up the ladder, cause the key to success.
What's up, team? This is Robert Porter and Ipiani Locker with the I Love San Bernardino County radio show on KCAA NBC 106.5 FM, 1050 AM, where we will talk politics, culture, and history. What's up, Yanni? How you doing?
Hey, blessed to be alive, brother. How about yourself?
Who's in the house today?
Oh, we got some awesomeness in the house, and I'll leave them to introduce themselves.
Eloise Reyes. I'm the assembly member for the 50th Assembly District.
And I'm Frank Reyes. I'm a college board of trustee for the San Bernardino Community College District.
Awesome. Thank
Eloise
you for being here.
and Frank.
There you
That's
go.
right. That's right.
The
We're
Reyes.
old friends.
The real community members, the couple, the power couple in our
Amen.
area.
Amen.
Yes.
Well said.
And we are so happy to have you on today. But before we get into that, we'd like to mention our sponsors, Celebrities Bar and Grill over on 40th Street. Thank you, Max Zaire, for all you do. We do appreciate you. I know that there's issues with homelessness over there, and he definitely would like to see that alleviated and understands that we are under an injunction at this time in the city of San Bernardino. So we're going to have to wait for the judge to rule on that. But still, Max, we love you.
Yes, indeed.
But go over to Max's, have a virgin margarita, right? Or a virgin daiquiri and a steak. They got some good steaks.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Burger. They even have a form of a smash burger over there now.
Okay.
And he keeps touting his lobster pizza.
Okay.
So he even got a fine from the city for that sign in there.
Oh.
They gave him a $1,000 fine.
Oh, Lord.
oh.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
And what's the address?
It's I don't know.
It's off of
Right there on 40th. Yeah,
off
like
of 40th.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
40th and Sierra Way.
Yes.
All right.
on
Find
the
it,
corner.
everybody.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Thank you.
Yeah, like I should probably have the address, but everyone always knows where Celebrities is. I don't know. You've never been there?
I think Prince took us there the other day.
Okay,
There we
yeah.
go.
Oh,
There we
yeah,
go.
Prince.
Shout out to Prince. Shout
Well,
out to Prince.
Yeah. Thanks, Max, for all you do. We do appreciate you, and we appreciate Celebrities.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
I like the food there too.
I know you're there almost every week,
Yeah,
man.
I enjoy it. We also have the I Love San Bernardino Standout of the Week, brought to you by Ben Chavez and First Lineage Site Services. Thank you, Ben, for being there for us for over almost 2 years,
Yes,
helping
indeed.
us put out Standout of the Week. And if you are interested in putting out Business of the Week or Nonprofit of the Week, we want to hear from you. It will only be $25 per show. Let us know, and we will mention your name every show. And the favorite of who me and Yanni pick, but you can mention some ideas too of
Definitely.
the businesses and
If you have a
nonprofits.
standout that you want to help support as well,
True.
a standout of the week, you could help come partner with Ben, and we could shout out those standouts of the week because we want to make sure that we're highlighting, as my formative executive director Maribel Nunez would say, the unusual suspects, the people that are out here doing great things but often are not acknowledged for the things that they do. So.
And this segment is brought to you by Motivational Realizations.
The energy of positive thought.
And you have a book available.
Yeah, I have a number of books. You could go to motivationalrealizations.com, one word. I have my poetry series. The first 2 volumes are there. And then my latest literary work is Losing Weight, W-A-I-T. It's a book about self-actualization. And I try to implement and deliver the 7 concepts in there through observations of nature, short little stories. Like I grew up on the Nazis fairy tales. Shout out to my mom and the little train that could and all that. So it's written in a very simplistic manner that I hope that anyone from a 5th grader to someone in their golden years that they could take in and it resonates with them and hopefully inspires them to pursue whatever dream or vision they've each been given.
And he really does inspire since he's come back on the show after a few year hiatus.
A little downtime.
He's really inspired a lot of good things out of me. So I do
Amen.
appreciate you,
And
Yanni.
vice versa, brother.
Yeah, and another thing is my books are available on Amazon.
Hey,
and yours
now.
is on Amazon, right, as
Yes,
well?
you can find it on Amazon as well.
I have Legends of the Arrowhead, so I compiled a list of all the arrowheads because there was only a small pamphlet with 3 of the legends. And I felt that since I had found a new one attributed to San Manuel on newspapers.com, that I needed to rebuild one, right? So I built this book here and it has all the legends. Right?
Beautiful.
This is before, this is after I did the Native Mega Art book, where
Okay.
I've discovered the Native creation history on Arrowhead Peak that is related to the local indigenous tribes around here. And my new book will be a combination of them both because I have just found the legend of the Arrowhead by the Gachina Indians on the backside of Mount McKinley Mountain at San Manuel.
Beautiful.
So I found it in images. It's like a song panel, and it mentions it out.
Beautiful.
So I'm slowly getting this out there, in contact with the right people. And
Amen.
we just keep moving forward until science catches up with me.
And yes, indeed. And I believe you created a YouTube channel, I believe?
Yes.
How do we find that?
Native Mega Art.
Native Mega.
Very easy. Native Mega Art. Go right to it, and I have a bunch of videos there for you to watch. I've been all around the world, and this native art is universal. It's just that styles change. So they just use like the form of pixelation to show their art.
Amen.
All right.
Beautiful. And with that being said, the standout of the week for this week is Behavioral Health Ministry Prevention Project. They had an amazing mental health fair and expo over the weekend at the New Hope Family Life Center. I saw Brother Prince there doing his duties. You know, he said, make sure you tell Eloise that he was here. He was there.
My team is everywhere.
Yes, they are.
If
I
I'm
could
not there,
attest to
my
that.
team is there.
Definitely. So it was just a beautiful event. Shout out to California Action Partnership for providing over 100 boxes for food distribution. That was distributed by Forever Ambassadors of Salt, a ministry over here in Highland that has a soup kitchen every Wednesday from 12 to 2, and then they also do food distributions as well every Wednesday as well. So
God bless them,
yeah,
man.
for those the people that address the needs, we kind of indirectly talked about the homelessness, right? And we all want to see solutions for the homeless crisis that we're in throughout the state of California. But whatever we choose to do, we must be able to do it in a way that is life affirming and humanizes. We don't need to just be doing like clean sweeps and throwing away people's medication and IDs and things like that. Because the real reality in this country, most people are 2 paychecks away from being homeless themselves or
How do you
unhoused.
pay for that medication
right?
again? You know? Yeah.
So we have to be. We have to humanize all that we do in this nation and in this world, because we're all humans and we're all blessed to be alive. It's only one. We're humankind,
Yes.
and our cultures and ethnicities make it beautiful, the mosaic of humanity, right? But at the bedrock, we're all human beings, and we're all blessed to be here.
And mental health is very important aspect of all of these issues we're dealing with.
Very true.
Yeah, and having awareness of things that you might have mentally.
Totally.
Like I have anxiety sometimes.
Yeah.
And I have to catch myself, especially when it's like checking the door if I locked it. I know I locked it, right? But like I have to go check it. So I started training myself, instead of like going to check it or having that feeling, to be aware that I locked it every single time now, and it's alleviated that.
Amen.
So
Amen.
being aware that sometimes you can solve a couple of the problems.
Like you're saying, removing that stigma is key, especially for our communities, right? Like it's okay to speak to a therapist. It's okay to not be okay, right? And that's one thing I think as men, and one thing that I try to do is try to let people know and model it, that it is okay to get help. I know I went to a counselor at Cal State San Bernardino, go Yodes, and the problem I have is everyone says, "Oh, you're a nice person," and the one said I was a little zealous, which is not a bad thing, you know what I mean? But I went because I wanted to make sure that I was dealing with heartbreak, right? So I just wanted to reach out to all the resources that are available. So we want people to know that there are resources available for mental health. There are resources to get you housed. There's resources. Believe me, there's resources pretty much for everything. But
At Cal State, they do have a program where they have, I think, like counselors that are learning the trade. And my mama, after my father committed suicide,
My
at
condolences.
Riverside National Cemetery with his Purple Heart in his hand, had a hard time. So she went to Cal State and was with one of those counselors, Dr. Tom Pierce, hooked it all up. And it really helped her
Amen.
get through her problems then.
Amen.
So
What a blessing.
Yes. And it was free. So I know if you look, there are resources available. You just have to search hard.
Definitely.
They are available.
Definitely.
Yeah, I remember because I graduated from Cal State San Bernardino and
Go
going
Yotes!
through a master's program, and they do have to have hours for clinical hours. So you're going through a master's program, and you have to provide that. So people should take advantage of that, and it's free.
Yes.
I was wondering, are there any mental health resources for the students at San Bernardino Valley College or Crafton Hills?
There's some limited because we want to concentrate, like the program we're talking about, Cal State, that's at the master's level.
Yes.
For at the community college, we have a BS and BA, A. So it's limited, but we can get them started.
Awesome.
We're not trained, some people are not trained to do clinical. We're there more to help on the educational and obtaining their degrees. And then we send it, but Cal State should have it in UCR. The four-year colleges should have it.
Definitely. Thank you,
And may I
Frank.
say, go Wolverines!
Go Yotes, go Yotes, go Wolverines, go Cardinals, go Pirates. You know what I mean?
Go Yellow Jackets.
Yeah,
Go
I
Yellow
thought you were a
Jacket.
Yellow Jacket, yes.
You know, I just went to the Colton Museum. You know, Miss Angela had invited me over, and they were unaware that a real famous producer by the name of Hit Boy, he's done music for like Jay-Z. He has all kind of clientele, but he went to Colton High School as well. So they're going to try to reach out to him to try to get something to represent him in the Colton Museum. So they were
love it.
unaware of that.
That's
So,
cool.
and we need something for you in there too, right? You know what I'm saying? Like
They just called me. They
Okay.
they want me to gather the photos
There
and the
you go.
history.
Awesome.
Oh, really?
Well,
That's
yeah.
amazing how these circles like this come
Can I
around.
share also that
Yes.
they were able to renovate the Colton Area Museum with I was able to get $1 million
Awesome.
for them a
Thank
few
you.
years back. And they have worked so hard, and you saw the finished project.
Yes, yeah.
We have great friends like Angela, Frank's on the board.
I'm on board.
She said she got her.
Lori Sanchez and
you have a good
Oscar and so many others. We're just so proud of the work they have done. It's a lot of work. It's one thing to get the money to renovate, but it's another to have people work to do the work. And they have worked hard.
And to be responsible for that money.
That's right. That's right.
That's what, the hard part about a grant.
That's right.
Yeah,
You
You
need
got to
to
report it all.
you're like, you have to, wait, what I needed over here.
I recommend you go look at it, and it's free, and it's just an amazing. Families are taking advantage, and it's a beautiful building. I don't know if you've seen the building. It reminds
It's
me of
the old
one.
library.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what Mom said.
It reminds
She's
me of
library.
the Lincoln Memorial.
Definitely the facade and everything.
Yeah,
how it
in
looks,
Washington
definitely.
D.C. So it's
Architecture.
very so. Anyway, just take
And then
advantage.
the story of, I want to say, I believe the gentleman that served in the military, I think the little documentary they have, I think his name was Mr. Perez, I believe. But anyways, it was a gentleman that they have a little documentary that you sit down, you put your hand on the pad, and it starts the documentary. And how he was over there, I believe it was, I don't want to name the war, but eventually he had got hit and they thought he was dead and then but he wasn't, so he ended up saving him. He had got hit in the head, you know what I mean, so it was a miracle that he survived, but eventually got the Purple Heart. So just I come from a military family, love you and miss you, Dad.
It's so important when we're talking about those who have. I mean, this is the ultimate sacrifice, right? To enlist or to be drafted, but to dedicate that part of your life, especially during a time of war, and being able to record the stories firsthand.
Yes, indeed.
I love those projects.
Yes,
I love
indeed.
those projects.
And I love that you're getting $1 million for them. Wow. May I put in a little bit? I don't know. Do you know?
I see a Robert Porter Museum starting in the near future.
Yeah, we are blessed with San Manuel, and they have, it helps our museum so much.
Yes.
Oh, wow. And
They're great partners of the community, absolutely
indeed.
committed to making San Bernardino City, San Bernardino County a better place.
and putting their money where their mouth is.
That's
Amen,
right. That's
amen.
right.
Addressing.
So we get started on this interview.
Definitely.
Thank you so much again for coming in. We appreciate it. I know you're very busy, both of you. You are a power couple here. My first question is, if you don't mind, is what you do to keep everything fresh and the love flowing, being a power couple in politics.
The good thing is that we support each other.
Amen.
I mean, we know where our heart is. And so everything that we do in the community, we're able to do it together. It isn't as though something's important to me and Frank takes off to go play golf or something else because it's unimportant to him. If it's important to me, it's important to him. And if Frank is working on something at the college for the students, he knows that it's going to be important to me, and I'm there with him on those things. And I just, and then our time alone is our time alone.
Hey now.
We try to keep our special time also.
There you go.
But working together is important.
Did you say some gardening or something?
Oh yeah, pulling weeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a big lot in terms of fruit trees and so forth, so we have to maintain that. I have someone who does that, but I have to do the final touches. So yeah, and actually they've done some research, and gardening is a psychological benefit.
It's
It
a good thing.
relaxes you.
But nobody knows the sprinklers like Frank does. The whole system. I mean, there's there's some water dripping somewhere. I know he knows that there's
I like the way you think.
Yeah. The thing is that it's very expensive to hire a landscaper. They charge you $22 to $30.
These are
dollars an hour.
landscapers right here.
Those guns right
Yeah,
there.
Because you
man.
like to work in
I
yard
love
work.
doing
Yeah.
yard stuff.
Yeah.
That gets my brain off of
Yeah,
being
exactly.
another
That's
thing.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what it's so good.
Yanni, please share your gardening experience real quick.
You know what? We're taking the journey. We had bought a tower garden, and so right now we're trying to learn how to do the hydroponic growing. I know that the Acoma Center also has a few tower gardens, and I see that theirs are flourishing. So, like I told my mom, if the kids can do it, I'm pretty sure we can do it.
That is so cool.
That's true.
That's
true.
the hope, at least, right?
Yeah, Councilwoman Calvin
Yes,
has
indeed.
done a great job over at Acoma Center.
Inspiring a lot of kids over there. And then also Kevin Head, the head of their gardening
totally.
program.
Oh, my
doing
goodness,
some
yes,
incredible things.
yes.
Definitely.
Yeah,
They have
we
a-
got to see the chiles and the onion
Yeah,
and the tomato. We're ready to make the salsa.
Hey now, invite
And he's always got his
Invite me.
overalls.
Oh,
And you know
always,
he's
yes,
in the
oh, yes.
garden.
Farmer Kevin, know. No, it's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
And no, like how Robert said, and I love the way he started off the show with that question about the love, because that was one thing I wanted to ask, because every time I see you guys at an event, and even my mom noticed this as well, is you guys express admiration for one another, you know what I mean? And just the fact that you found that and cultivated that love, sadly not everyone discovers that in their time here, you know what I mean? So I just think it's beautiful, and we should be celebrating love, however each one defines their love for themselves as well, you know what I mean? But it's beautiful.
different for everybody.
It is.
That's right,
It is.
that's
But it's a
right.
beautiful feeling to share and to find a partner to
It
experience
takes
life.
work, team. It doesn't
definitely.
you have to work at it.
How many
right?
years, babes?
43.
Hey now.
Woo!
43.
Congratulations.
There you go. There you
And
go.
I actually met her I invited her to be a guest speaker for one of my Cal State San Bernardino, the Upper Bound program.
Okay, go Yodis.
And she did such a good job that I decided.
As a lawyer, or
She was finishing her law degree.
Okay.
But we wanted to get someone who was young. We didn't want to get an older lawyer, because we wanted to make sure that the students related to that. So
sure,
it was very perfect.
Sure,
And so it
yeah,
was
we
good.
believe you. Yeah.
But ever since that moment, she's never left your life, huh?
Nope, well, it's been 43. It's going to be
Amen.
44 pretty soon.
Awesome. That's beautiful.
That's the kind of love story I want everybody to have.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like a Bill Street movie needs to come out about the Reyes. Like, we're putting it out there in the atmosphere
All
right
right.
now. You know what
Well,
I mean?
there is a video program at Acoma.
Well, that's right.
They're putting out some good stuff.
We got a project.
Yeah,
Power-
there you go.
and we can highlight power couples throughout the entire region of different.
And there are lots of them.
Totally.
Yes.
That sounds like a project. All right, awesome. Well, definitely. One of the questions that we kind of formulated was, how's your experience been as an assembly member during your time thus far?
I've got to tell you that I've just absolutely enjoyed it. It's been hard work. But when you're doing something you enjoy, it doesn't feel like hard work. Sometimes people say, Eloise, you are everywhere. Don't you ever get some rest? And the good thing is that I spend a lot of time in Sacramento, and when I come back, the beautiful thing is that whatever events I have, Frank and I are doing those together. And of course, my great staff. I have
Definitely.
the best staff in all of California.
Definitely.
I challenge anyone to show me better staff than, and all my colleagues. I know you all have good staff,
Definitely,
but
definitely.
I'm saying mine is absolutely the best. But we're
That's you,
committed
Brent.
to we're committed to what we're doing.
Amen.
When I ran for office, it was because I wanted to provide a voice
Yes.
for the community, and I wanted to make sure that Sacramento knew that San Bernardino and Colton and Fontana and now Rancho Cucamonga and Redlands and Loma Linda, Moscow, Bloomington, they exist.
Yes.
They exist.
We're
And
on the map.
we are on the map, but we need to make sure that they recognize that there are needs here that may be very different from other areas.
Totally.
And I believe it's been my job to make sure that whenever we're talking about any project, that I usually say, especially if it's in one of my committees, I'll say, is San Bernardino one of the pilot projects?
Hey, now.
Well, no, it isn't. Okay, let's see how we can make San Bernardino one of the pilot projects.
Definitely.
But I when I got in, the speaker had me as vice chair or co-chair of the ethics committee. Then I was the assistant majority whip. Then the chair of the human services committee for the assembly. And then after that, December of 2020, I was sworn in as the majority leader for the California State Assembly.
Awesome.
How does that feel?
It felt great.
Yes.
It felt great. I was just the fourth woman in California's history,
Amazing.
the first Latina ever to hold that position.
Beautiful, beautiful.
You and
Congratulations.
Assemblymember Ramos just like moving the bar.
Right?
Shattering
right?
ceilings.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
trailblazers.
Yes.
Definitely.
Making sure again that San Bernardino is recognized there. And so I was able to do that for almost 3 years. And now just being involved. I've got committees now that I absolutely enjoy. My two new committees are public safety and housing.
Okay.
Two very important committees.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, judiciary and utilities and energy. I've been on those for a number of years. But these new committees, we recognize how important public safety is and trying to
you're
find
on
that
the Utility
balance.
Commission?
The
Yeah.
Utilities and Energy Committee.
Okay.
Yeah. So every bill.
Look into the people that are going around preying on the elders of a
Oh, my
solar.
goodness,
'Cause
yes.
My mama's in a predicament right now, and
Oh.
like there's not much I can do. It's like either she pays $15,000 to take it off,
Oh, for the solar?
yeah, or you sign the thing. You
You know what? Have her call the office, and in my office, Prince Ogadikbe is in charge of anything having to do with my seniors, let's see if we might be able to help her.
Okay.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen. Thank
All
you.
right.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
because there were a number of changes to the law.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
found that too
they-
many
they
of our
seem, they seem desperate lately.
many of our seniors were taken advantage of. But for many of them, you know, I mean, it was getting solar is a good thing, right?
Yes, it is.
So, but making sure that no one is taken advantage of.
Definitely.
Thank you just for taking that side.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
absolutely. But I've enjoyed it, right?
Awesome.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, and you know, the thing you said, what do we have in common in regards to that? I'm in higher education, have been in higher education for close to 50 years as a faculty member, as a administrator, and it's been through our partnership. San Bernardino College, Valley College, a lot of people don't know this, was going to be moved to Norton Air Force Base because it's in the fault line. And in the fault line, you can't have classes there. So we put together a grant, and thanks to her leadership, she was able to help
This was
us.
long before I was an elected
Yeah,
official.
she was-
This was all Frank's job.
Yeah, well, she was an attorney, and she was doing very well.
I did archaeology on those jobs at
Oh,
Valley
wow.
College
And, you
back in
know,
the day.
Right.
Yep.
And, you know, we were going to have to knock down San Bernardino, which we did, and we were going to move where Stater Brothers.
Oh, that where the
Where-
warehouse is at.
Yeah, but we can't afford even the utilities there because it's too big. But thanks to her leadership and with our elected officials that helped us, George Brown, if you remember George Brown,
Yes, indeed.
and Jerry Lewis Feinstein, we were able to get a $45 million FEMA grant.
Whoa.
And it was through her efforts. So
And she
she's
got
helped
me.
them.
She got
But
me
see,
work
look-
later on too. I like that.
You see, he gives me a lot of the credit. Frank has been the leader in making
Amen.
sure that more money came into San Bernardino Community College District while he was the governmental relations assistant
Chancellor, huh?
chancellor. During that time, it was almost $100 million that he was able to bring in.
It's a part. You ask a question. How do we
Thank
work
you.
together?
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been for a little community college that does not have a research component or department. We have been able to get close to $300 million over the last 20 years on the project. So it was through the state and it was through the federal government that we were able to do that. Whether it be the Department of Education, it's her leadership that has really helped me.
See, there
I
you go.
love it because like y'all both give each other the credit. No one wants to say yes, it's me, yes, it's no, it's him. No, it's
a partnership.
It's a partnership.
It really is a partnership. Yeah.
Definitely.
Love it.
Frank,
Love
how has being a trustee been for you? How's that experience been for you these last few years?
Well, it's been challenging, but it's been good because I've been as a faculty member and so forth. I was there for 40 years, and then I ran for office. I was going to retire, but then someone convinced me not to retire, which was my wife. So I ran
Smart
for the
move.
board, and I was able to make it to the next level. And so I've been there for what 6 years, 7 years.
Yeah, with almost 80% of the people casting ballots voted for Frank.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, of course he won.
Yes.
You've earned their trust.
Yeah,
You've earned their
you know, and
trust.
so having had it, it's just like I tell people, I respect people that have background in engineering. If we're going to do a project in engineering, I'm not going to be the expert. I let the other board members say, "Hey, can I take the lead on that?" Of course, you should, because that's what, in higher education. I've been a leader throughout the country. We just came back from Spain, Salamanca, because they want to do some programs, and we talked a little bit about the artificial intelligence, and so we're going to be able to partner with them, with San Bernardino Community College District, and the other colleges that are going to be able to partner. But she had a part in that because she was able to speak in regards to how does the state connect to the higher education, and not only in California, but throughout the country.
Especially with artificial intelligence. I mean, I have a counselor now with Meta AI.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah.
It can be your counselor if you want.
Yes.
And it also can help you with scientific thought that I never thought possible. I don't trust everything it says. I'm not like
Exactly.
that.
A grain of
But,
salt.
but it does.
Yeah.
It put me in my place a couple times, man.
Yeah, we just have to be careful. So
Yeah.
we're actually going to take the lead, the San Bernardino Community College District, in learning more
All right.
and getting experts to come in. As a matter of fact, I have a meeting tomorrow with an expert that we met in Spain who's going to volunteer to come in. So he's going to give us a good understanding, because it has to be just like when the cars were first invented.
Yes.
And, the people say, oh, you're going to kill yourself because you're going to...
They go so fast.
Yeah, they go so
and
fast.
no seatbelts.
No seat belts, sometimes no steering wheel. No, not that. But,
I can get off a horse. and
but
just-
so
That's
it's
right,
just
but I don't
matter
know about a moving
of
car.
adjusting to that. So AI is going to do that. But anyway, it was through an invitation that we got that Eloise was able to go.
And how was Spain? Was it beautiful?
It was beautiful. Salamanca is the third oldest university
in the world.
In the world.
In higher
Oh.
education. That's where we
Yes.
went as far as that.
Yes.
We belong to an association that does that. It's an international. We want our students to go to Spain to do an exchange. There's a lot of programs
Okay.
that our students need to take advantage of that. So that was the whole purpose of this.
I'm thinking about going back and becoming a student again all of a sudden,
You should.
We had a number of students that went. They get to go on behalf of the university or
That's
the
beautiful.
college. Yes.
No, awesome. For both of you, and we'll start with Eloise first. What's been one of your greatest accomplishments in the role of leadership that you play within our community? Or a few of them, because it's probably hard to just say one, right?
Well, there are a number of areas that I think are really important, right? Making sure we bring money back to the community is important to me. And I've been very successful in that. I'm very proud of being able to work with our speaker, with the governor, to let them know what the needs are of the community, so that I can bring money back here. We've had great success in that regard. And then when it comes to bills, we've had so many bills, some of them very fun, but there are two that come to mind that I think were probably the most impactful. One is a few years back when we had so many wildfires, 4 million acres burned, and we had, our professional firefighters just do this work of protecting us and protecting property and making sure that we keep it maintained. But we also had our inmate firefighters.
I was just going to say
who were working alongside our professional firefighters and putting their lives on the line. But when they come out, because of the felony conviction, they could never expect to sit for the test for EMT. And you need to have the EMT license in order to be a firefighter. And so in working with a number of organizations, a number of stakeholders, including our professional firefighters statewide, we finally got AB 2147 passed and signed by the governor, which provides for expedited expungements for those who participate in the conservation camps.
My friend that I grew up with participated in those.
Wow.
And
All right.
And they changed his life.
Amen.
Well, now your friend can apply for an expedited expungement.
He's clean. This was years and years ago,
Yes.
but he's now does construction work or.
All right, well, very good.
A lot of people from that realm do end up in the construction fields.
Yeah.
Yes. But it did help them. So it
Oh, my
helped them
goodness,
learn how to be a worker.
Hard work
Yes,
is-
yes. When you become responsible, you just learn some great skills. Another one has to do with our financial aid forms. We realized that we were leaving $500 million on the table with our high school students because they weren't applying for financial aid to go to college. And if you don't apply, then you're not going to get it. So some of them were saying, well, I don't want to go to college, or people around them were saying, don't go to college, just go get a job. So now the new law says that every one of our high school students, before they graduate, will fill out the financial aid form. If they are undocumented, it's the CADA form, but the financial aid form before you graduate. Parents can say, no, I opt out. I don't want to give my financial stuff. That's fine. But it should be a requirement. And the number that has increased of students that are now applying for financial aid, the door's open. That's what we have to do, open the doors for the students.
Yeah, and let them decide what road they want to go down.
That's exactly right.
Definitely.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And now is trade schools and things.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
And in fact, the beautiful thing is, like, if they apply and they get financial aid and they go to Valley College, Valley and Crafton Hills have a whole lot of programs. It isn't just to get a degree and to transfer. I mean, there are lots of things they can do, right, Babes?
Yeah, one of the things that, in my opinion, anybody that wants to do higher, it doesn't even have to be higher education, but I
Learn
work
a
in a
skill.
higher institute. It's obtaining skills, whether it be vocational training, and we call it workforce development.
There you go.
And so people that may not want to go to school for 10 years. And we have some people, when you go to a college, you don't, as long as you're over 18 and you're able to benefit, you're eligible to go to a community college. You don't have to go to Cal State or UCR right away if you don't have the funds, and that's what happens.
I
So we
went to
can do that.
Valley when I was 14 years old,
Oh,
and
my.
then when I all the way through high school. So you can
Yeah.
go, and they
Yes.
encourage you as a
Yes.
as a young student to go. too.
Absolutely, and see
So the
that's
dual
what you call,
endorsement?
That's what
Dual
a
enrollment.
new one is, a dual enrollment, which
Dual enrollment.
means that you can be at the high school
And get credit.
and you don't have to pay while you're in high school.
And you end up with college credits when you're done. I
Well-
had
That's
like
right.
a few chemistry and politics all done.
That means you're pretty smart, Robert. I mean, to take those classes.
Got it.
I think it
Masters.
was because my mom had glass blowing at night, and
Ah.
I kind of it worked out.
I love it.
That's really good. So the point is, for us, is that anybody that wants to improve themselves, whether it be to get a job, water treatment, nursing, mechanical engineering, whatever it is, or if they're going to go to a profession like law school, medical school, we have those. And anybody that can really understand how the system works can really take advantage. And it's very minimal, the cost. That's why we call it community college. A community college is for the community, so
Amen.
anybody can go over there. And if you're not ready, then we'll get you ready. I mean, we don't want you to take a geometry or trigonometry class if you haven't taken Algebra 1.
Totally.
So, we have good counselors that would put them in the
Yeah,
right
there's,
path.
there's placement tests that
Yes.
put you exactly where you need to be,
That's right.
and where you'll feel comfortable too.
Definitely.
That's right.
And that's important,
That's right.
feeling comfortable.
Yes.
And in that comfort, hopefully they find the courage and inspiration to reach for their dreams, to manifest it, because we've all been given a dream and a vision, but the difference is those that manifest their dreams and those that do not are the ones that are willing to render the efforts, and if you're willing to render the efforts.
And a little risk, and there's a little risk
Oh,
involved.
yes,
Yep.
yes.
But life is a risk,
Yep.
right? So that's already baked in. Don't worry about that part.
In my graduate program, we talked about if you feel comfortable, you're not learning.
As
right?
far as growth
Yeah,
and being
yeah.
in comfort zones, I understand what you.
Yes.
Definitely, awesome. Also, and same question for you, Frank. What has been one of or a few of your greatest accomplishments being a trustee over the last 7 years or so?
Well, I've been able to work with my other colleagues, and we've been able to implement some programs that impact not only our region, the state, but international.
Awesome.
We belong to organizations that have increased. When I first started working there was only what you call the Hispanic Association of College and Universities, HSIs. Anybody that goes to that university, and it's at 25% or more of the student population, they're Hispanic, they qualified, they're eligible. The beautiful thing about it is not just for Hispanic, it's for any individual that is going to that university.
Awesome.
So we're going to we've increased from 1987 that we only had like
12 million.
12 million. We've increased to $200 million.
Beautiful.
But we've also increased the number of Hispanic serving institutions. At that time, there were 37. Now there's 600 Hispanic serving
Whoa.
institutions. And we want to partner with historically black colleges.
Awesome.
That's my next goal, to get together with them at Howard University.
Beautiful.
I know that the vice president is a graduate from there. We're going to have a conversation with her because it's all beneficial for our students.
For our
students.
populations.
The
Totally.
populations, whether it be if you're African American and you go to a Hispanic serving institution, you're eligible for benefits, for opportunities, for grants, for paid internships.
Hey,
We
now.
even send students to go to Washington, D.C. for 10 weeks. And they get paid where they're going there, so you
Awesome.
can still go.
Yeah.
You're never
My
too
application
old.
in
As
again.
long as you're in college and you have at least 12 a B average, which you will.
My mentor he's literally 91, and he just got back into his doctoral program at Florida State. I helped write his
Wow.
recommendation.
That's right.
You're never too young.
That's right. That's
and
right.
There might be a too young there, but like 14.
But keep in mind,
You
Robert.
You did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, now we have the middle college.
Yes.
Middle college is across the street from Valley College. They can go to that college, that school, and then go to Valley College,
That is so
where they're in
cool.
the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So we had a young man, I'm sure you're familiar with Prince, the attorney.
Tim Prince.
Tim Prince.
Okay.
His daughter took advantage
The other
of
Prince.
this.
Okay.
They took advantage of this in regards to, he started there, she went to Valley College, she got her A degree, and she got her high school diploma. She is now at Berkeley.
Oh, awesome.
She's now, so she graduated, and at the same time, so I told Tim, you need to reimburse us for some of that. Because when you go to those big universities, you're paying a lot. You go to Valley
you
College.
do.
But understanding how system works are really important.
Yes.
And that's what the community college is. We're there to help anybody that wants to come and improve.
Beautiful, beautiful. Go ahead and pick a question yourself, Robert.
Oh, okay. Okay. Why is community service and community engagement important nowadays?
Oh my goodness! I think that's the most important thing. I think about. We all know we had such a bad budget year, such a great deficit, and lots of programs were being cut out. One of those was for our victims of violent crime, victims of domestic violence, of human trafficking, elder abuse, child abuse. And $103 million was being taken out by the feds. And all of these programs were either going to shut their doors or they were going to have to cut down services. And the number of advocates that went up to Sacramento, I've got to tell you, it made a big difference. So when I would take this before the budget, and the budget subcommittee chair is Assemblymember James Ramos of that particular subcommittee, and the chair of the budget, Assemblymember Jesse Gabriel, and the speaker and the governor. I mean, I went out to all of them and I said, we need to keep this $103 million. Oh, no, we can't. We have lots of other programs. But having that community engagement from our community and throughout the state of California, lots of groups coming up Sacramento saying, do not take this money away. You've got to do the backfill of this money that we're losing. Well, we got the $103 million in the budget signed by the
Power of
governor.
the people.
It really is the power of the people. I think that our students, especially, getting them engaged.
Totally.
That we always say they are our future. They are our present.
Yes.
Because they're able to share with us ideas that we may become so complacent, or we may think that's something that we're not going to be able to solve. Let's move on to something else. But if they're willing to work on it and be engaged, so much can happen. Oh my goodness,
Yes,
so
indeed.
much can happen.
Could I add that if you are interested in making change at this level yourself, make sure you do it at the stage that she's talking, like when they're deciding the budget.
budget,
and stuff.
right.
Don't
Yes.
do it when the budget is set and they're going to vote on it.
Yes.
Because I often see people come into City Hall and it's already on the table for them to vote, sometimes a second time, and it's really hard to change that stuff. They'll have to throw it away, right? So in the beginning, right?
Totally.
Do it early.
I know that we, outside of this radio had in motivational realizations, my community organizing work, that yes, it's so important, like you say, in the budgets on the state level and on the county level and even on your city level, right? It's good to engage in that process, and we're hoping that San Bernardino County does a little better job than Riverside County, but having that window of time where the community can engage and making times for the community to engage. I say that meaning like the meetings can't be at 2 in the afternoon on the work week, right? You know what I mean? Like, you have to set up a number of meetings towards the evenings and rotate them throughout the different districts or wards or however each city designates their different regions, right? But to make it accessible for community input, because ultimately, our elected officials are here to serve the community and to manifest the community's vision of whatever that may be. And we need space and
And
opportunity
they can't
to do
know that vision unless we let them
They're-
know.
unless we're there,
Yeah.
unless they're engaging with them. So it's so important. So with the same question that we just asked Eloise, Frank, why is community service and community engagement so important nowadays?
Well, I have a good working relationship with our political science instructors, that they're always encouraging young students to get involved, civic engagement.
Yes.
Become aware of, as Robert was saying, get involved with the process at the beginning. I know that Dr. Ed Milliken is one of them that is really encouraging their students to go to meetings, to attend, to take notes, to voice their opinion. If it's something not even just necessarily education, other city, other housing and so forth that is impacting them, then they're pretty fluent into how to express themselves.
Totally.
And so they're great. I mean, our colleges. We just finished taking a number of students to go to Washington, D.C. to advocate for programs that are really important, again, not only in higher education, but in other areas that the students are really involved. Because, our students, some are young, some are old. And we have you talked about a young lady that came and talked to me when I was a counselor. She was 85 years old, and she wanted to be a counselor like me, but she didn't know that it was going to be another 6 years. So you're talking about 86 and add another 6. So, but I'm not about to say, no, you're too old, lady. I'm just saying there.
Because she
encourage them.
wasn't.
No,
Yeah,
she's
you're
alive.
That's
encouraging
right.
people. We don't have, and just as long as you have the motivation.
What if she lived to be 125?
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah,
And
so-
think of all that wisdom she'd be able to share.
Yeah. So.
Totally. I know that we're kind of circling towards home base. We have about 10 minutes left, but I would love to hear both of your responses to this question. And we'll start with you this time, Frank. But, how would you define a healthy community, or what is your vision of a healthy community?
Well, for me, a healthy community is participating in all areas, whether it be going to city council meetings, the board of supervisors, the college, and so forth. Being aware of what is out there and the opportunities that they provide. Again, I'm a specialist in higher education. Being aware of the grants.
Yes.
I just got a call this morning from a mother that wants me to help the grandson who's graduating with high GPAs, but doesn't have the money. So I'm going to be giving her a call, and I says, there's scholarship, there's private scholarships, there's paid internships, and then there's other.
They gave me, Cal State gave me $5,000 just to go to school.
Yes.
I love it.
And the good thing about it, Robert, is that you took advantage in a positive way.
Amen.
Some people would say, well, they're not. No, if you give them an opportunity, then you take advantage. Of course, the federal government, the state, they're not dumb. They invested in you. Look what you're doing now.
Amen.
You're giving back to the
Well, thank
community,
you.
and
Yes.
all those things. And that's what we want to do. The future workforce, look, if we don't, are we still the fifth
largest
healthiest
economy
economy in the world?
Yes.
If we don't educate the people, we're not going to be the fifth. We're going to go to the 20th.
Word
And
up.
I don't want to do that. So the more opportunities that these people become aware of, the better it is.
Yeah,
in
and
getting
it doesn't
engaged.
have to be brain education, right? The trade schools and all.
Totally.
You can go in any direction.
Totally.
That's right.
Limitless opportunities. And same question for you, Eloise. What is your vision of a healthy community?
I think it just is very related to what Frank is talking about, but I want everyone in the community to have access to everything. Healthcare, mental health care, good schools. If it's tutoring you need, get tutoring. I want doors open for everybody, and
Housing.
safe housing, safe
You
housing.
just joined that committee.
That-
That's
yeah.
a big one.
When I think about public safety, I want
Housing is key. in that.
absolutely. That has a lot to do with public safety. Is if you are housed and you have food to put on the table, you have a good school to send your children to, you have a safe route to send them to school or bus, whatever it is. That I want my community to be safe. I want them to have access to everything. It doesn't matter what your zip code is. You should have the same access as anybody
Amen.
else.
Amen.
And I think that for me, that's a healthy community, having access to everything. And for us, I think collectively is to open doors for everyone,
Totally.
to make sure that they do know where the resources are. That in my office, I will tell you, and I bragged about my team earlier, but when people call into the office with whatever the issue is, my team is able to, they may not be able to solve every issue, but they're certainly going to direct you
Amen.
to the right group or the right agency, the right person that's going to give you the resources. And sometimes it's a little extra work on their part or risks that you have to take in order to take the next step. But I want those doors to be opened for everyone.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. And I even would like to pose this same question to you, Robert. What is your vision? Because I know you're so passionate about our community. And if no one, if they don't know that, there's no one that can't know that, right? Knowing Robert. But what would, from your perspective, what would a healthy community look like? What was your vision of a healthy community?
Well, we kind of discussed it. You said it was $140,000 to keep someone incarcerated.
Oh yeah,
per
about
year.
over $130,000.
Well,
Yeah.
instead of paying that, why not pay $150,000 to each kid before they get to that point?
Yeah, to prevent them.
Why they're going through school? If we invested that much money in each one, they probably wouldn't, go in that direction.
Totally.
So our youth that have opportunities is a healthy community to me.
Prevention.
That's beautiful. Yeah, definitely prevention. And I just want to, tip my hat to Governor Newsom because, like you said, we are in we have a budget crisis here in the state. But for like one of the very first times, he reduced the budget of CDCR. And because over the last decade plus, crime has been on a downward trajectory, but yet their budget seems to continue to rise. And I say this often, we don't want our communities to be incubators for prison, right? We know that education is so important that they forecast the size of future prisons by the students that don't pass the third grade level. That's one of the indicators that they use. They use a few more indicators in this.
Makes me angry that they even
Yeah,
can
right.
do that.
Because some.
Yeah.
we don't know our full potential, nor is a third grader at their full potential there, right? We don't know what the home situation, so many factors and dynamics that play into that. But I think that we all agree that education is such a key to bettering yourself, regardless of what situation, whatever your situation may currently be. You know, you could be, unhoused and you're going to school, but you and your family live in the car, but focus on that education. With that being said, as we get ready to circle out, because I believe we have less than 4 minutes, could you just share a message of hope for our community, especially for our world, especially, with the happenings over the course of the last week or so? There's been a lot of things going on in our country. And if you could just deliver a message of like hope and unity, something, or express love and admiration, however you define it.
I love the title of the program. I love San Bernardino County because I love San Bernardino County.
Awesome.
Just the people of San Bernardino County, we're so resilient.
Amen.
We're so resilient.
Amen.
And we are so diverse. There is so much we have so much to offer.
And we have character.
We have character. We
Amen.
absolutely do. I think for me, making sure that everybody knows that their voice matters.
Amen.
I want to hear their voice. You want to hear their voice. That's really important.
And I want you to register to vote and to hear your voice there, too.
Yes, because oftentimes that's the only time that we can figure out what the future is going to be is by who we have who we have representing us. But I want us all to think of the change we want
Amen.
in society. And somebody else said it, not me, and be that change.
Amen.
Okay.
Work towards that change. Make sure that what you see in the future that you think is going to be good for all of us, then you work towards it.
Beautiful.
And lead by example.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Definitely. How about yourself, Frank?
Well, for me, I've always said that if we don't have our health, we have nothing. So that's our number one.
Yes.
We have to have that. But second to that is education. So I'm really in a very good position to advocate for that, because without a good education, you don't have a good job. Then you can't have a good house, and even your family suffers because
Yes.
then you can't take care of them, so forth. So I think if we can really work on that, we can do someone says, if you have a good job, you're going to stay out of trouble.
And 45 seconds?
Definitely. And I just wanted to present you with a gift that my mom made for each one of you. Some of her handcrafted wares. This is one for you as well, Robert.
Whoa! Can I put it on right now?
Yeah, you can open it up. This is my mom and I are making certain jewelry and things of that nature, and she wanted to present you guys with
Matching my
something because she knows you guys
thank
are some
you.
wonderful people.
Well, that's good.
My mom has always been appreciative of what
I'm
you
gonna
guys
wear
done
every
in
show.
our life.
I'm wearing every show.
just
Well,
wanna
that's
say
because
thank
you were man of the year. You were first man of the year. That's right.
Definitely.
Right.
With that being said, I just wanted to say thank you to each one of you and everyone, the staff, everyone, because I know most of them, from Michael, Maha, Ivana, Prince,
Maria,
Lucy. I see, I just saw Prince and Maria at the Redlands Bowl this past Tuesday, right?
Working with the
And
students.
this is Ipiani Lockhart and Robert Porter with the I Love San Bernardino County radio show, and we are
Out of
here.